2023 important topics in AR and LR. So as you guys would be aware that AR and LR, it constitutes a very good chunk of SNAP exam, and there is one more SNAP exam to go. So let's discuss some of interesting and good questions on AR and LR that will contain everything from set based LR to encoding to string arrangement or string management to directions, clocks and calendars. Okay, let's include everything, even blood relations. Okay, so the first question, what is it? Okay, so I will have to hide myself here, guys. Okay, so we have three friends, Krish, Adam and Brett, and they answered a question for who among you is a baller with the following statements. Then Krish says three statements, Adam says three, Brett says three. Exactly one among them is a bowler, one is a batsman, and one is an all-rounder. Further, one of the boys always speaks the truth, one always lies, and one alternates between truth and lie in his successive statements, who's known as alternator. So we don't know whether that person starts with the truth or whether that person starts with a lie. It's not mentioned. So obviously will be, something that we'll have to take into consideration. Now, in such questions, what we do, so this is definitely a set-based question. So in such questions, what we do, we have to find out statements given by two or more than two people which contradict each other or which are the same thing. In that case, we will assume that either both are going to be correct or both are going to be wrong. So, we will have to, take the consideration that who is the bowler here. Okay, there are going to be three assumptions. So my assumption in the first one is, suppose if Krish is the bowler. If Krish is the bowler, that means this becomes a true statement, right? And if this is true, he can't be a liar. He's at the best going to be an alternator or he's going to be a truth teller, right? So somebody is going to be a liar. So when Adam says Krish is not the bowler, this is a false statement. So he can be an alternator as well. But suppose if he's an alternator and if he says this, true, false and true, then he's an alternator, but he says he's a liar, which will make contradiction here. So that means he lies. And the moment I say that he is a liar and that's a false statement, that will not work. I hope that is clear. See, this is a paradox. When somebody says I am a liar, that will never work out. Reason being, if you're a liar, how come you are saying a fact? How come you are speaking the truth about you being a liar? Isn't it? So, this scenario that Adam is going to be, a liar, Adam is a liar, ye nahi chalega because of this statement. Okay. Now, if I say that I am the liar, if this is true, then the problem is if he speaks true all the time, suppose he is the truth teller, okay, that means all his three statements are true, then why is he saying I am the liar, right? So this will also not work out. So one thing is for sure from here, with our assumption that Krish is the bowler, we get to know that Adam is the alternator, right? If Adam is the alternator, then the statement I am the liar, it's a false statement. If this is false, that would mean it's going to be false, true, false. Now, if Adam is the alternator, then Krish is not the bowler. That is something we get to know by reverse conclusion. So Krish is not the bowler. So Krish is the bowler? No. Okay. When Krish says I am the bowler, this is a false statement, and the moment this becomes a false statement, he can't be an alternator. He can only be a liar, because if he's a truth teller, how come one of his statements is a false statement? So that means all his three statements are false, and then he turns out to be liar, which makes Brett a truth teller, right? So truth teller, and truth teller. So TTT. So let's now find out who is the bowler and who is the batsman and who is the all-rounder. So एक assumption करते के साथ चीजें ज़्यादा simple हो गई. Now, I am the bowler, so Krish is not the bowler. ठीक है? So एक काम करते हैं. Let's write down Krish, Adam, and Brett. So Krish is not the bowler. Adam is the batsman. That's a false statement. So Adam is not the batsman. Brett is the all-rounder. So Brett is not the all-rounder. That's a false statement. Krish is not the bowler. This is a true statement. Brett says, I'm not the batsman. So Brett is not the batsman. Right? That's a true statement. Next, Adam is not the batsman. Adam is not the batsman, that we already know about this. Now, somebody has to be the batsman and somebody has to be a bowler, right? So, let's recheck this. Okay. We get to know that Adam is the alternator, right? And so Krish says, I am the bowler. That's a false statement, so Krish is not. Adam is the batsman. It's the false statement, so he is not. Adam says Brett is the all-rounder. That's the false statement. That means Brett is not. Krish is not the bowler. So Krish is not the bowler. That's a true statement. Again, repetition. Brett says I'm not the batsman. So Brett is not a batsman. Adam is not the batsman. This is also true. So batsman is not Adam as well. So since we need one tick and one cross across, so this is going to be a ticked. This one is going to be a ticked, right? So this turns out to be a cross. And since we have a tick here, this is going to be a tick. Right? So we get to know that Brett is the bowler. Krish is the batsman and Adam is the all-rounder. Right? So we are supposed to have I don't think there is any issue here. Okay, who among the following is the bowler? Brett is the bowler. Option A. Okay. Which statement or statements made by Adam is or are true? So Adam ka second statement is a true statement, right? Just this second statement because he's an alternator. So the answer is going to be second. Second. Okay, only two questions from there. Next set. 6 people K, J, L, Z, X, and C are sitting around a circular table facing inside. Who among the following sits second to the right of L? So this is a question based on data sufficiency, right? We have got two statements and accordingly we will have to select the appropriate option. So since we have 6 people, so let's look at statement 1. Let's make 6 people sit around. Okay, first statement says J sits adjacent to K, so we don't know left or right. C is not a neighbor of X, so we don't know where to put. One person sits between X and J, don't know where to put. K sits 3 places away from Z, so we don't know where to put, which means we will end up having 2 cases depending upon where they sit. So when we get one person sits between X and J sits adjacent to K, so let's place K here and J to his left. Let's place K here and J to his right. So we're done with this statement. Then one person sits between X and Z and K sits 3 places away from Z. So this is one thing. 3 places away would mean that Z is exactly opposite to K, right? We are done with this statement. Now we know that one person sits between X and J. So we can't have X. Okay, if we take this, we can only have X here. And if we take this, we can only have X here, right? C is not a neighbor of X, so that means C is here. In this case, that would mean C is here, and the last person left is L, who will go here. Now, question is, who among the following sits second to the right of L? So, if this is L, second to the right of L is going to be C. If this is L, second to the right of L is going to be K. So, we cannot answer using first statement alone. Okay, let's look at second statement. So let's make 6 people sit around. X sits opposite to C. So we have X and C. Done with this statement. L sits second to the right of C. So this is where L would be sitting. Z is not a neighbor of C. That means this is where Z would be sitting. So we're done with all the 3 statements. Question is, who sits second to the right of L? Second to the right of L is Z definitely. We do not know the other 2 vacant positions. That means we can answer this question using the second statement alone, right? So sometimes in data sufficiency question, in data sufficiency based questions, you did not have to solve entirely, but the part of the question that is asked, if you can answer it, good for you. So that can we say that if the question can be answered by one of the statements alone, but not by other alone, so option A should be the answer, right? This makes perfect sense. So A is going to be the answer. Okay. Next question. There was a birthday celebration. Okay. There was a birthday celebration and the following members attended it. So I can unhide myself now. Radha Vinod, I think verbal sessions are happening. If you go to the playlist of Snap 2023, you'll find English sessions happening. Okay, let's go back to the question. There was a birthday celebration and the following members attended it. S-A-R-R-A. Okay, so we can't take the initials, the first letter. Sonika is the mother-in-law of Aisha. Who is the sister-in-law of Rupesh? Rayans is the father-in-law of Abhay. Abhay is the brother of Rupesh. Randhir is the only son, and so on and so forth. We need to find out Sonika and Randhir ka relationship. Okay, so we have Aisha. We don't know the gender of Aisha. Please do remember that normally the standard rule is name doesn't signify the gender, right? But sometimes in in exams like SNAP or sometimes in IFT or MHCET, they assume the name to be, a representation of the gender. So if we are not able to solve it without using the gender, and since we do not have cannot be determined, it means we'll have to assume कि Aisha is female. Aisha male name नहीं सुने आज तक, right? That shouldn't happen actually, but in exams में होता है. So Aisha is married to someone, right? And that person's mother is going to be Sonika. And Aisha is the sister-in-law of Rupesh. That means Aisha's spouse has a sibling by the name Rupesh. And since it says sister-in-law, we can now be sure that Aisha is female. That means this person is male. Also, Sonika is, since mother-in-law, that word mother tells us that she is female. Now, Rayansh is the father of Abhay. That's completely different scenario, right? So let's ignore that. Abhay is the brother of Rupesh. So we don't know that is Abhay the same guy who is the husband of Aisha, or is it someone else? So we don't know that. Let's leave it. Randhir is the only son of Rupesh. Now Rupesh is married and they have a kid whose name is Randhir and who is male. And Rayansh is the father-in-law of Girja. How many people are there? 3, 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like Rupesh is married. Right, Girja was married to Rupesh. So we have Girja here, right? And it says Rayansh is the father-in-law of Girja. So this is going to be Rayansh. So that means the only person left over here is Abhay. So Abhay is the brother of Rupesh. Now, we do not have to worry about the gender of Rupesh and Girija because the relationship asked is between Sonika and Randhir, and we thankfully know the gender of both of them. Question is, how is Sonika related to Randhir? In other words, Randhir will call Sonika by which relationship? It's going to be grandmother, parents, father. So answer is going to be D. Okay, next question. The following are the results of a survey conducted on a small group of residents from Mangalmay colony to determine the readership of 3 newspapers. Number of students who read only News India was 60. 50 students read only the Real News Daily. 100 students read only Indian Times. 20 students read all the 3 newspapers. So I believe you guys will agree that this is a set which looks like based on pie charts. No, sorry, not pie charts, Venn diagrams, right? So since it's a 3-set Venn diagram, it is already mentioned about 3 newspapers. So let's draw those 3. Okay. So unfortunately, I do not have lighter shades, so I will have to go with some darker shades. Okay. Let's erase this white, make it a little bigger one. थोड़ा बड़ा circle बनाना चाहिए so that we are able to fill in the values. Okay, the 3 newspapers are News India, and then we have got Real News Daily, and we have got Indian Times. Okay, and how many people are there? Not mentioned. Number of students who read only News India was 60, so this is 60. 50 students read only the Real News India, so this is 50. 100 students read only Indian Times, so this is 100. 20 students read all the 3 newspapers, so this is going to be 20. 30 read News India, white, and Indian Times, red, but not the Real News Daily. So that means this 30 is the part of the leftover. 40 read News India, which is white, and Real News Daily, which is yellow, but not Indian Times. So it's only white and yellow part outside the red. So this should be 40. 20 read the Real News Daily, which is yellow, and Indian Times, which is red, but not News India. So this is going to be 20. And 30 read none of the newspapers. Okay, so how many people are there overall? What is the value of each of these circles? We will try to calculate only when required. Let's not waste time here. Let's look at the questions. What was the total number of residents surveyed who do not read News India? Okay, so we have got News India, do not read News India, which is outside the white circle. So this is 100, 20, 50, 30. So 50 plus 50, 100 plus 100, that's going to be 200. Okay, next. Oh, there was only one question based on it, right? Sometimes it is a bit irritating that you invest so much time in one particular question and you end up solving only one set. Well, in that case, I would expect everyone to please look at the questions beforehand, as in how many questions are there, and then proceed solving. If you have, this big passage and you have only one question associated with it, don't try. Okay, at what time between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. will the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand be 160 degrees? They have not, they have given an option which says none of these. So unfortunately, we will have to solve it entirely. So the formula used is the angle between the hands is given as 30 degrees into hour minus 5.5 degrees into minute. Okay. But since it's time between 2 and 3, the time eventually will be 2 something. So the value of h is 2. The value of angle is 160. Right? So H is 2 here. We need to find out the value of M from here. Okay, so we will have 160 is equal to 60 minus 5.5 into M. So simple sa logic hai. 60 minus some number won't be 160. You know? So it's actually 5.5 M minus 60 is equal to 160, or M is going to be 220 upon 5.5, which is 55 into 4, so 40. So it's going to be 240, option B. Okay, the next one. Find the missing number in the series. 4, 18, 48, 100, 294, 448. Well, it doesn't look like it's getting doubled every time. It's getting 4 times. It's getting less than 3 times. And they are all not in table of 4 or 6. No, they are not. Sometimes it's 4, it's sometimes. So, kuch to chal raha hai. Okay. $294 is in the table of 7, right? 448 is in the table of 8. 18 is in the table of 3. 48 is in the table of 4. 100 is in the table of 5. Okay. So actually 4 is 2 square. 18 is 3 square into 2. 48 is 4 square into 3. 100 is 5 square into 4. Missing one thing. 294, if I take this to be 6 square into 5, this should be 7 square into 6, which it is. 7 into 42 is 294. So that would mean 8 square into 7 should result in 448. Is it? 64 into 7. Yes, it is 448. So 6 square into 5 is the value that we need to find out, which will result in 180. Option A. Okay, next question. Phrase encoding, decoding. In a certain code language, 583 means this, 3725 means this, and 7 this means this. Which of the following means body in that language? Well, we have the word body in this particular second phrase, right? So we need to find out what do we mean by is an eternal, right? Okay, so very straightforward. I will be writing down the numbers 7, 4, 8 and 2 from the second phrase, and I will be writing down 8, 5 and 3 from the first phrase. Well, 8 is common, so that means 8 belongs to soul. If 8 belongs to soul, that means 5 and 3, they belong to is an eternal. So is an eternal, they belong to 5 and 3. So we can remove 5 and 3 from here. So body is going to be 1 from 7 and 2. Okay, we need to find out the word not for this. So does not perish, and we have 7W is there, which is common in both the second and third phrase, where we have the word not common in both. So not is your 7. So 2V will turn out to be body, right? Yahi ek bach gaya. Second phrase say everything else is related to other phrases. Okay, another question on blood relations. A man introduces a woman as the daughter of the sister of his father. So we have a man. This man has a father, sister of his father. So this father has a sister, and that sister has a daughter, and this is the woman we are talking about, and this is the man we are talking about in the question. So man has a father, father has a sister, sister has a daughter, and that's how the man introduces the woman. How is the man's father related to the woman? As in, the woman will call the man's father as what? She is going to call him uncle, right? Next, 10 friends are having dinner on a rectangular table, 8 facing each other along the length of the table, while 2 facing each other along the smaller side of the table. Paul is sitting diagonally opposite, and so on and so forth. Something or the other is given. Let's look at the question. Who is sitting in front of? How many people are sitting between? So in other words, we need to find out the entire sequence, right? Yes, Vishal, we'll be doing the analysis on 22nd. Okay, so what I will do is मैं काम करता हूँ, मैं एक टेबल ड्रॉ कर लेता हूँ, ठीक है, so that it's easier for us to solve it. Reason being कि we will not, when I erase, I don't have to worry about the table getting erased, so it will make things easier for us, right? Okay, I think 8 people will be able to sit. नहीं, ठीक है, थोड़ा और लंबा कर देते हैं. Okay, so we have one person sitting here, and then we have 4 people sitting here along the longer edge and along each longer edge, and 1 person here, right? 8 facing each other along the length of the table, while 2 facing each other, and everybody is facing towards the center, right? Okay. Paul is sitting diagonally opposite to Kent. So diagonally opposite can be anywhere. Ellen is facing Jill. Ron is to the right of Juan. Ted is sitting between Saul and Jill. Paul is to the extreme left of Juan, who's sitting on the extreme right along the length of the table. Sam is facing Ted, and Monty is on the immediate right of Saul. So it looks like a lengthy one, right? Now there is one issue. I do not have a comma here. Okay. So Juan is sitting on the extreme right. So this is where Juan is sitting along the length of the table, and Paul is sitting to the extreme left of Juan. Okay, so this statement we are done with. Okay, then it says Paul is sitting diagonally opposite to Kent. So this is Paul, so this is where Kent would be. Ronnie is to the right of Juan. So Ronnie can be anywhere. Alan and Jill are facing each other, so they can be along the length or they can be along the breadth. Ted is sitting between Saul and Jill. So Saul and Jill cannot come below. So Saul and Jill have to be above. And this is the only place where Saul and Jill can sit. And if this is Jill, that would mean this is Ellen. And that would mean this is Ronnie. But then Ronnie is to the left of one and not right. So this will not make sense. And it doesn't say exactly in between, so it can be anywhere. Now Ronnie is to the right of one. Is it immediate right, or is it like koi bhi right? Okay, it says Monty is to the immediate right of Saul. And Ted is sitting between Saul and Jill. And Jill is facing Alan. Ronnie is to the right of one, and if this is Saul, Monty is to the immediate right of Saul. Saul and Jill के बीच में Ted is sitting. Alan is facing Jill, and Sam is facing Ted. So here I have made couple of assumptions. One, when it says Ron is to the right of 1, I have assumed that's the immediate right, which I should not be doing. But if I don't do that, Ronnie has got so many places to go. Similarly, when it says Saul and Jill, they have got one person between them. So they can take a lot of different places, even though Paul and Juan are already placed. So we can have cases, possibilities तो बहुत हो सकते हैं. So what shall we do? Shall we go ahead and इससे solve कर ले या कुछ और करें? Let's see. If we have an option, if we have options related to question that will solve this. Like I said, in such kind of question, in such kind of exams, there are sometimes some grammatical mistakes, some calculation mistakes, some numerical mistakes. It happens. For example, the very first mistake this set had was this comma was missing, guys. Because this इस comma के बिना तो बिल्कुल different बनेगा, है ना? बनेगा कि भी नहीं, I'm not sure because I did not try that. I just used experience and I was like, after one, there should be a comma because this who is not talking about Paul for sure, right? So you guys should be prepared. Excuse me. Who is sitting in front of each other along the small sides? We say Monty and Ronnie. Do we have that option? We have. How many people are sitting between Sam and Ted when counted from the right hand side of Ted? Sam and Ted. Ted का right hand side से count करेंगे. How many people are seated? 3. There can be more since we have not made other cases. Obviously, we don't know that. ये तो answer match किया, then only we will be like, हाँ ठीक है चलो, this is what this set meant. But risky, right? Tricky. Okay, the next one. Find the next number in this series, 2, 6, 11, 18, 25. Whoa. So 2 to 6, there is a change of 4. 6 to 11, there is a change of 5. 11 to 18, there is a change of what? 7. 18 to 25, there is again a change of 7. Doesn't look good. Okay? Anything else that we can do? Alternate series? Uh, doesn't look like. Good question. Any question on sequences and series that stumps you for a bit? It's a good one. Only 25 is a perfect square. No, it won't work. I'm not looking at the chart. Is it anywhere Fibonacci or something? No. You don't randomly add and subtract. Good one. Possible तो कुछ भी कर लेंगे. We need the exact one. Anyone to how can we have a 7 there? Nine, and there is a jump of 14. Looks complicated, everyone. 9 and 14 gives us 25, but that 2 and 9 gives us 11. 12 and 6. That's obvious. 18 and 18 ka double will be a lot. Sorry. There's 36. No idea. We'll come back to that. Ki logic kya hai. In the following letter series, some of the letters are missing, which are given below. Choose the correct alternative. Again, unfortunately, we have none of the above, so it means we will have to write down all these sequences. So let's start with option A. So let's put in Q, R, R, P, Q, P. Does it make sense? P, Q, R, R, P, Q, Q, R, P, P, Q, R. By the way, how many letters do we have? 3, 3, 6, 3, 9, 3, 12, 15. 17 letters, odd number of letters. So it should make sense normally. So we have QPQ, we have PQR. Nope. B option, if we take Q, R, R, P, P, and R. PQRR, PQQR, PPQR, PPQR. Okay, what about if I take 4, no 5, PQR, RP, PQQ, RP. There is a bit of pattern here, but not exactly a proper pattern, an easy pattern. Here, you know, Q gets repeated, then R gets repeated, then P gets repeated. So I wouldn't call that a proper pattern unless or until we have checked all three. C, Q, R, R, P, R, and Q. So we have P, Q, R, R, P, Q, Q, R, P, P, Q, R. We have got P, Q, Q, R. We have got P, Q, R, R. Okay. So this is P, Q, R, R. Then we have P, Q, Q, R. Then we have P, P, Q, R. No, why am I fixed on 4? What if it is 3 here? We have got PQR, then we have got RPQ, then we have got QRP, then again we have PQR, then we have RPQ, and then we are supposed to have QRP, though P is missing here. Right? It's a repetition of these 3 words. So C makes more sense than B. So if I put in B and I checked for 4 and 3, right? It kind of made sense, but not exactly. C ho jana chahiye answer. Okay, question on directions. Ravish walked 35 meters towards south. So 35. Then he turned to his left and walked 15 meters. He then turned to his right and walked 20 meters. He again turned to his right and walked 5 meters. At what distance is he from the starting point and in which direction? So this is his end point. So from his starting point, he is in the south and east part. So southeast hona chahiye. So there is only one option, I believe, which makes it perfect. This is not 25 meters. This has to be way much. Let's check it again. 35 meters towards the south. Then he turned to his left and walked 15. And then he turned to his, oh, it's left again 20 and not right. Then turned to his left and walked 20 meters. He again turned to his right and walked 5 meters. It will still be a southeast, but now this can be 25 meters. 15, 5 is 20. And this. So there is only one option which gives us this. So everyone, please be careful. Don't make the kind of mistake I just did. Left ko right pad liya. Made a mistake. Oh, okay. I'll have to hide myself. Okay. A machine input rearrangement is given below. Study and analyze the input and its steps and answer the following questions. Well, this is the input that we have. And we have the step 1. 23 has become 43, 18 has become 33, 12 has become 21, 15 has become 27, 27 has become 51, 11 has become 19. So how are we adding things? 23 to 43, if you think about it, there is an increase of 20. 18 to 33, that's an increase of 15. Okay, so this is an increase of 20. Simple 20. This is an increase of 15. This is an increase of 9. This is an increase of 12. This is an increase of 24. This is an increase of 8. Now 20, 23, 15, 18, 9, 12. So we can say that if this is the input value n, then my first step is n plus n minus 3. या इसका डबल एंड 3 कम, वैसे ये कर लेते हैं हम लोग, right? This is going to be 2n minus 3. 11 double is 22, 22 minus 3 is 19, 27 double is 54, 54 minus 3 is 51, 15 double is 30, 30 minus 3 is 27. Okay, the second step. 23 has become 32, 18 has become 81, 12 has become 21, 15 has become 51, 27, 72. So we are reversing the digits. So reverse of digits of n. Okay, step 3. 23 has become 25, 18 has become 81. It stays 81. That is nice. 12 has become 9, 15 has become 36, 27 also becomes 81, and 11 is 4. So these numbers in step 3, these are perfect squares, and these are perfect squares of 5, 9, 3, 6, 9, and 2. How to get a 5 from 23? 9 from 18, 3 from 12, 6 from 15. So obviously 2 plus 3 is 5, 1 plus 8 is 9, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 5 is 6. So we will have to square of sum of digits of m, right? And step 4, 23 has become 34, so that's an increase of 11. 18 has become 83, wow, that's an increase of 65. 12 has become 23, that's a mere increase of 2. 15 has become 53. 18 which is an increase of a lot. So step 4 is not a perfect square, not related to the previous ones, but how to get a 34. Well, it is somehow related to step 2, which is a little weird. It's not related to the first step. I mean, of course, it's related. Step 2 is related to the input. So obviously, step 4 is also related to input. But it's easier to figure out that step 4 is related to step 2. What is it? It's step 2 plus 2. Okay. Now, if the output at step 4 is shown, then what is the input? Well, if step 4 is 33, 24, 63, 82, 14 and 43. So looking at the options, most probably 13 is the first number and 22 is the second one, 16 is the third. Oh, confused between 26 and 8 here. And 19, 21, 39, 21. So looks like we will have to check only the second last number. That will eliminate the options, and then we will check the second number. We will not solve everything here. So if this is the second step plus 2, this is our fourth step, right? So fourth step turns out to be second step plus 2. That would mean the second step is going to be 32 and the second last is going to be 12. If that is true, the first step is going to be 23 and 21. Hold on. Second step was the reverse, isn't it? Is there a typo here? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's check the third last. So 82 will become 80. So this will become 08. So we have 08 and 21. 08 and 21 is only in C. Looks like this should have been 23. So a silly typo there. Let me clear it. Okay, now it makes sense. C becomes our answer. Okay, fine. It's 23 here. It wasn't 23 there. So typo there in the question. Okay, the next question. Shubham, yaar, worth living hai ya nahi hai? Can't really comment on that. See, there were a lot of questions which we solved very quick. So वो जो time spend कर रहे हो, where are you going to spend those time? चाय पीने में तो नहीं करोगे, right? पहले एग्जाम हॉल से पहले भागने में तो नहीं करोगे, इधर उधर देखने में नहीं करोगे. So obviously the time that you save while when you're solving questions fast, that time please put in other questions. But before you put that much time, so compare. If you have a set with 2, 3, 4 questions, and suppose 4 questions which are, singlets, पर उसमें time लगेगा. So it's better to solve a 2, 3 or 4 question set rather than 2 questions individual of that difficulty level. समझ रहे हो ना? 2 questions एक set का जो एक पढ़ो और solve करो, जो time consuming होता है, and 2 questions like the ones we have seen. So अब decide कर लो कि कौन सा सही करना चाहिए. Okay, question number 16. Watch is 2 minutes slow at 3 p.m. on Wednesday and 1 minute fast at 3 p.m. on Friday. When did it show the correct time? So we have got 3 p.m. Wednesday, then we will have Thursday, and then we will have Friday. Oh, थोड़ा और दूर रखते हैं. So we will have Thursday and then we will have Friday, and this is 3 p.m. So the watch was 2 minutes behind there and 1 minute ahead there. So that means this entire duration from Wednesday 3 p.m. to Friday 3 p.m., which is a total of 48 hours. Yeah, फिर we can calculate this as 16 hours भी कर सकते हैं. This has to be divided in the ratio 2:1. So when I divide 48 hours in the ratio 2:1, so the 2 component will become 32 hours and this will become 16 hours. So 3 p.m. Friday say 16 hours before, what time will that be? So 3 p.m. Friday say 12 hours before. They both say 3 p.m., right? ठीक है. So 12 hours before, this was 3 a.m. Friday. रात के 3 बज रहे थे फ्राइडे के, और उससे 4 hours पहले, which will give us 11 p.m. Thursday, right? ठीक है. So you can either calculate 32 hours from 3 p.m. Wednesday or 16 hours from 3 p.m. Friday before, whichever you are good with. I chose 16 hours क्योंकि easy calculation था मेरे हिसाब से. It's your choice. 11 p.m. Thursday. Okay, I want everyone to please make sure that you like the video. And let's come back to this question. Let's see what is this about. So we have 2, then we have 6, then we have 11, then we have 18, and then we have 25. I'm going to defend this. Not easy. Well, if I write 2 in binary, 4 digit पे कितना तक जा सकते हैं? We can go only up to 17. So if I write 2 in binary, this is what I will end up in. If I write 6 in binary, this is what I will end up in. If I write 11, 8, 10, 11, this is what I will have. 18 is going to give me 16 plus 2. And 25, 4. Won't help. This is way away from a common sense based logic. टाइपो हो सकता है क्या इसमें? अगेन ये काम करता ना दिमाग की, आंसर नहीं आ रहा तो शायद क्वेश्चन में गड़बड़ है. एंड इट्स नॉट रॉन्ग टू क्वेश्चन द क्वेश्चंस, but no, binary will not work here. There is 2 plus 4 and 6 plus 5 and 11 plus 7. Why we have again 7? Doesn't make sense. Alternate series 2, 11, 25. So there is a change of 9 and then there is a change of 14. We need a lot of terms to be able to get there. So there is a change of 12. So how much change should we see now? Can be anything, isn't it? 1.5 times of that, change of 21 is there. 21 will not even give us an option which exists. 1/3, that will also not work. 5, more than half. So change of 18. Not an alternate series. I believe हाँ क्या 25 की जगह 27 आएगा तो प्रॉपर हो जाएगा? कैसे? 2 to 6 change of 4, 6 to 11 change of 5, then change of 7, and then change of 9. Nope. There is a change of 1, there is a change of 2, there should be change of 3. And if it is going to be change of 3 instead of 9, I should have the previous change as 10. So this should be 28. And if this is 28, the next change should be that of 14. So iska 14 add karoge, it will end in 42, and 42 is not even in the options. I'm saying either the options are wrong or the question is wrong, right? So obviously आपको वैसे सोचना पड़ेगा. ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं देते. Satpal, that's what I did. Won't work that way. It won't work. बहुत ही गंदा लॉजिक होगा शायद. Who knows? Okay, what if this series is 2, 3, 6, 11, 18, and 27? So there is a change of 1, there is a change of 3, there is a change of 5, there is a change of 7, there is a change of 9, there should be a change of 11, it should end in 38. But maybe option many. So there is seriously something wrong either with the question or with us, wherein we are not able to decode this. Okay, anyways, koi nahi. Well, anyone who is new to BYJU'S exam prep, you can download our app from Play Store, and you can access for 3 days the trial access for our app, of our app. Okay, all you need to do is put in your contact number and click on that button that says start free trial, and you can enroll in our CAT and non-CAT 2023 test series. Wherein you will get 10,000 practice questions and you'll get more than 80 marks. You can also click on the button which says talk to your counselor on the home page of our app and get your queries resolved. You can also predict your CAT percentile and the colleges that you should be eligible for by clicking on the link that is pinned in the chat. And please do not forget to join us for the first impression and detailed analysis of XAT 2024 on 7th of January. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'll see you again. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.